Hi everybody, and welcome to a very special review / outfit of the day. Today I'm wearing this beautiful wing bust style bodice and sarong style bottom in one dress made by Whirling Turban. So here's the front, side, back, and the other side. And here's the outfit again with the camera turned to the side so you can see the full length. And I apologize that my heels are not authentic 1950s. However, the height of the heel is appropriate to show you how it's supposed to look with the proper length of the skirt. So as I had said before, this has a wing bust top here, and so you can wear it up like this so that you can have these cheeky points here, or you can wear it slightly angled down like that, which I think gives a little bit of a softer look to it. And I like to show off a little bit more of the contrast here, the white satin, so I usually like to wear it down like this. You can also see the white halter strap here in the same white satin contrast. They are adjustable using little buttons on each side on the inside of the bust here. I will show you the inside of this dress with Whirling Turban's permission in a couple of minutes, but you can actually take off this halter strap completely and replace it with a matching peacock halter strap. Now I had chosen the colors of these. You can choose almost any color you like, or you can just take the halter strap off completely and wear it as a strapless dress. So here's what the dress looks like when it's strapless, and it's lightly boned on the inside of the bodice, so you don't have to worry about it falling down at all. However, you still do need to wear a corset underneath to get the proper period look, because even though the bodice is boned to keep it smooth and to keep it up on your body, it's still not going to nip in your waist. The bodice here is elasticated the same way that some bodices were actually in the 1950s. So you do have a little bit of room to stretch in case your weight fluctuates a little bit. However, it is still recommended that you wear another bodice underneath just to nip you in and give you that really period look. Another important thing to note here is that the corset I'm wearing underneath this dress is my WKD Morticia underbust corset, and Whirling Turban highly suggests that you wear WKD's corsets underneath their dresses, because WKD's corsets specifically cater to a very 1950s style silhouette, as opposed to some other corsets which might have more Victorian silhouette or an Edwardian silhouette. They wouldn't quite give the same effect that you're trying to go for when wearing 1950s new look clothing. And just for good measure, I'm showing you a slightly different variation. So I have the peacock colored halter strap here. I've angled the wing bust up a little bit more, and you can see that the silhouette is not quite as dramatic as it was before, because I'm no longer wearing the WKD Morticia underbust under this dress. I'm wearing my Versatile Corsets Mimosa overbust. So this is my overbust that has the separate cups in the corset, so it doesn't flatten my bust down, which is great for these style of wing bust dresses, because it gives a lot of contrast between the bust and the waist. However, you can still see that the silhouette from the front here is not as dramatic, because the Mimosa overbust is more of a gentle hourglass silhouette instead of a wasp waist. So if you do want to go for an overbust corset specifically to wear under new look clothing, then I suggest you go custom and request that they're given a little bit more of a wasp waist silhouette, just so that you have the accurate look underneath your period clothing. And hopefully I'm getting the skirt in frame here. You can see that it's a sarong style wiggle skirt, so it actually is sort of like a wrap skirt. You can see the tie right here, and I requested that the length be 1 inch longer than the widest part of my calves. They said that most dresses of the time were either 1 inch shorter to show off the fullest part of the calf, or 1 inch longer than the fullest part of the calf, but never stopping right at the widest part of the calf, because that would make your legs look rather short and stocky. So I decided to make it a little bit longer, because if I tried it on and felt that it was a little bit too long or not flattering, then at least I could take it up. If I got the skirt and it was too short, then I wouldn't have that option. But they actually did a really good job of measuring it. And even though it's a wrap skirt, you don't have to worry about sitting down or having a breeze fly by and like exposing yourself or anything like that. It's really tastefully done. There's a very substantial overlap of the panels here. And if you need that extra room, then you have it. If you need to climb high stairs or anything like that, but it's tasteful once again. When it's closed up, it still looks like a wiggle skirt. However, it's not going to make you trip or anything like that. So I really like the way that this was designed. I'm just going to show you a few details of this dress with Whirling Turban's permission, because the more that you look at this dress, the more details pop out at you. So for the material of this, first of all, this is 100% natural fibers. I believe this, with the materials that I got in this dress, it's 100% cotton, including this beautiful shark skin-like fabric. Now, it has such depth in it that when you look at it at different angles, it's almost iridescent, but what it actually is like peacock colored threads moving in one direction and black threads in the other direction, and when they overlap, it just gives you the depth that you see here. Their construction methods are very period accurate. They try to make everything as close to the 1950s as possible. So turning it on the inside here, you can see how the straps are adjustable using these buttons right here. It has multiple loops, and these loops are very inconspicuous. You can see how when you have the points completely up, you see none of the white in the back, and when you angle these down, you see almost none of the peacock color on the underside here. And this actually takes a lot of care and attention to do, because if some seamstress were less careful about it, then you would have like a little bit hanging over on one side, so that if you had it either flipped up, you might, just exaggerating here, you might see a little bit of the white there and it would look sloppy, but these people actually do take care to make it look as clean as possible. You can see that when you have the whole thing angled down, I'm probably not supposed to wear it like that, but just to show you, there's this beautiful ruching on the underside here. And if I show you the other side, you can see how the bodice is boned. It's very lightly boned using just featherweight boning, but the bust is nicely contoured here to give you that really nice shelf bust look. Also, the shirring on the sides here, and like even if you look at the dress from head on, the shirring is symmetric on both sides. Like this is mind-boggling amount of attention being paid by the seamstress who made this. The one thing that's not totally period accurate is the fact that the teeth and the zipper are plastic instead of metal, but honestly that's such a small feature. You can see on the inside here, there is no serging of the edges here. Actually, if you can see how they're zigzag, that is done by pinking shear. So the edges here, you could say that it's been pinked. And they actually wrote me when the dress was on its way to me, and they're just like, just letting you know that this is the way that it was done in the 1950s and it's not unfinished in any way. We don't want you to think that we were cutting corners on your dress. And I was just like, it's absolutely no problem at all, because if I show you my other dress from the 1950s, so here is my real vintage 1950s shelf bust dress here. You can see that the zipper here is metal, but also on the inside here, you can see that it's been finished in the exact same way. It's been pressed down really neatly, and the edges have been pinked. And this dress is, I would say, at least 60 years old. However, it hasn't frayed at all. So just because an edge isn't serged doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to fray or that it was not finished properly. So I really appreciated that, because I know firsthand when I'm sewing corsets, for instance, if you serge all the edges, it adds a lot more bulk to the corset. And what can happen is that you might be able to see the serging, or at least the bulk, through the outside. So when the edges are pinked nicely this way, everything lays beautifully flat and smooth. So going back to the Whirling Turban dress here, where the edges are pinked, it lays beautifully flat and smooth on the front. You don't see the bulk coming through. You don't feel the bulk, which is also really important because the bodice is so tight around you. And I have absolute faith that it's not going to fray on me or anything like that. And I actually had to look for a while to find the tag on here, because it was actually put in a really inconspicuous spot right there, which I actually really like, because if somebody were just looking at this and they're just looking at it quickly, then they would probably think this is a real vintage dress, because they wouldn't be able to find the tag right away. Also, another thing about this is I have
sensitive skin when it comes to like pointy corners, like tags, and they put this tag on the inside of a little flap here. So I mean, even if I weren't wearing a corset, even if I were wearing this dress by itself, I wouldn't be able to feel the tag on there, and it won't be like poking me, which I really appreciate. So I can look at the different layers on here and tell that they didn't use any glue in their manufacturing either. See, I can look at the different layers in here and see that even the interfacing that they used, it's non-fusible woven interfacing. They used absolutely zero glue, including no fusibles in here, which is it's amazing the kind of work that they put into this dress. And for the sarong skirt here, it is very slightly adjustable, not too much because it is attached to the bodice here, but you can see the wrap skirt, how it works here. And so if your hips fluctuate a little bit during the month or whatnot, so then you can tie this little bow on the side a little bit looser or a little bit tighter depending on how you feel. And the weight of the fabric, once again, is it drapes really beautifully, and you can see these pleats that are made in there. It all blends together really nicely. So even if you have a little bit of belly pooch, then the fullness of these pleats right there will help to conceal that, and it just gives a really beautiful profile.
This dress is available in a multitude of colors. I believe there are 9 different colors of shark skin, so you don't have to limit yourself to the peacock. I just chose this color because it's one of my favorite colors. But you have 9 different colors to choose from for the main dress, and you can also choose the color of the contrast here, so you don't have to limit yourself to white either. This dress in a standard size costs $235. They also do period wedding dresses and things like that, and also you don't also have to go with the sarong skirt if you don't want to, because they also offer the really full circle skirts as well that are great for twirling. So I really hope you enjoyed this whirling turban review / dressing with your corset outfit of the day style video. If you'd like me to do more like this in the future, then let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.